Hello, welcome to Monster Shop. My name is Christopher Dubois, and today we'll be painting this latex mask. The style of the mask is a leatherface-like style. I'm not sure who the maker is, but let's get it started. The first thing I did was do a quick prime on the mask by using Tim Gore's Bloodline All Bone White and the Flexible Addition Promoter as well from Creative Color Bloodline. What this is gonna do is gonna make the colors stick to the latex, so that way the paint won't be cracking or chipping and will stay in the mask. It will make the mask a little bit tacky, but it's okay. The colors will be laying on little by little until we get to the point that we want to, and then we're going to seal the mask, and you'll see the results very soon. Okay, so after that first prime, what we're going to use is, again, from the Bloodline Tim Gore's line, the light olive gold. Now, I don't only paint with Tim's paints, the Creatix paint. I also use some of the FWs, some of the golden, Liquitex, even sometimes, depending on what I'm going to use it for, some of the dollar store paints, especially if it's going to be some type of washes or anything like that. Alright, so once again, this is the color that I'll be using right now, is the light olive gold. So I pour some in the cup. You can use a little bit of water, and alcohol, to dilute the paint a little bit, so it runs much easier through the airbrush. All right. Okay, so start to base that color. As you can see, I keep moving the airbrush from one side to another. I just don't want to put the paint too heavy on the mask. Alright, so the lightest it goes is going to be more flexible. There won't be any cracking that way. One more thing, I just finished with that color after priming the mask. Now, what I use to clean my airbrush between colors is some Windex. I'll just spray a little bit of Windex, and that way I just clear up that color, and I'm ready for the next one. Alright, so a little bit of the Windex. And that's it, airbrush is ready for the next color. Okay, in the case the mask hasn't dried up after you apply that color, I use the hair dryer. That's it. All right. The next step. As you can see right in your hand is not only one tone, one color. You can see different blotchy colors like reds. You see some yellows, some whites. There's blues. You can see the vein going through the hand. So again, that's the kind of effect you want. That's translucency of colors on the mask. Okay. So the way how I achieve that is with a list of colors. These are the colors that work for me. So you can always try and see if that works, or maybe you can find other colors that might work even better for the skin colors. So the first color I use is cyan. Okay, this is for the brand. This is Amsterdam. The next one is an indigo, just like a dark blue. Magenta. This is a lime green from Liquitex. Red. Purple. Yellow. This is a burnt amber color. And again, I'm going to use this color, the one that I used for the first base, which was the old bone white. All right. So to all those colors, I'm going to grab and I'm going to put them in a small cup. All right. All you need is 1 or 2 drops of the color. After that, you're going to add water and a little bit of alcohol. Okay. You're going to try to dilute the color as much as possible. You want it to make it a little bit translucent, like I said before. Alright. Now remember, you always want to add the water before the alcohol. That way, if the paint is too concentrated, it won't give you some type of sediments because of the alcohol. Alright. So I did all these colors. They are already mentioned here. I already diluted, but the red one actually. So what I'm gonna do, dilute the color a little bit. Alright. Okay, so now you're gonna need a nice paper towel. These brushes that I get, they're from Hobby Lobby. I think you can buy them for like $2.99 for 10 of them. So these are the type of brushes that I use to draw some of the paint. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get all the excess of the paint, and then you're gonna start doing this with the color. Okay, I'm sure the camera doesn't pick up everything that I'm doing right now, but at the end it will show. If by any chance one of the paint dots that falls onto the mask are too big, or maybe you put some extra paint like on this side, you see, just touch it with your finger and remove it a little bit. Let's continue. Okay, put that color aside. I'm going to clean up our brush. Next color to use is going to be magenta. Same thing we did with the red one. The excess, spray a little bit here and there. Now when I'm doing this, I do it from different angles. I'll do it from a little bit of close-ups, I'll do it from far away. Depends. If you do it close, all the paint is gonna be focused on one spot. If you do it from far away, it's gonna spread out. Okay. All right. So we're done with the magenta. Clean up the brush, and we move on to the next color. The next color we're going to use is going to be blue, okay, or the indigo that I grabbed before. Now with this color, just be easy with this color because it is a dark color. You want to make sure that it's very diluted, and just spray just a little bit. Don't do too much. Just so it shows on the mask. And it helps bring down all the colors. Okay. Done with the blue and the brush, and on to the next color. The next color is going to be yellow. Same thing. Make sure your colors are well diluted. That way it gives that effect of transparency. As you see, it doesn't need much. It's just a little bit. The effect is on the layering. That's when it's gonna bring all the colors together, and it's gonna give that look of real skin. Okay. All right. Next color to use, purple. Here we go again. Okay, done with purple. Lime green is next. This one again, go just like the blue. Just go lightly with the color. You don't want too much of this color in there. Just a little bit. Now the next color to me is one of the most important colors. This one is the burnt amber, and it gives that look of real skin after a lot of the layering, of course. Once again, because the skin is not perfect, it's very blotchy, so this will do that with your paint job. With this one you can be a little bit more generous. Don't forget to move the brush from far in close angles, especially from far, so you can see you can see the different patterns that you can achieve by doing this. Okay, now one more color to go, which is this all bone white. Okay, again, make sure the color is very diluted, and then it will help break up the skin. And we also were not going for a complete, you know, this person is not alive, right? That's what we're trying to imitate the fact that the killer cut off the face of this person, and we're gonna have to do all those decaying details onto the skin as well. All right, so we're done with that part of the paint job. Want to make sure it's nice and dry. Okay. I'm going to try to do a little close-up so you can see the colors. See if I can bring it more to the light. There you go. Ah, there you go. Okay, so there you go. Okay, the next step is back to the red color that we grabbed. We're gonna add a little bit more of red. Okay, we're gonna try to darken that color a little bit more. Mix it up. Okay, now you're gonna take the tip off your airbrush, because by doing that you're gonna be able to do very fine details with your airbrush. Okay, just make sure you don't hit the tip of the needle, because you will ruin that needle. Okay, so just be careful when you do it. Not poking yourself with it, because it's gonna hurt. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the airbrush to go inside all those crevices, wrinkles, all those parts that you can say they're inflamed, around the eyes, right where the mouth has been cut. As you can see, it has some stitches or maybe some wires. So all those parts, they need to have this warmer color, which is red. Also remember, look at pictures of people, in this case of light skin. You're gonna see that the reds will usually accumulate around the forehead, the tip of the nose, side of the nose, around the mouth, the chin, maybe by the cheekbones, and I'm sorry, the cheeks. Anything that's close to the bone, it will be a little bit of more of a cold color. So let's apply the color. Right. one thing I can tell you is when I paint, I try not to be too uniform with what I do, because you want to make sure that it's not this side of the face is not exact copy of the other one. Okay, you wanna those you wanna call them little mistakes sometimes that you make while you paint will bring the whatever you're painting a more natural look. The more you practice, you'll be able to see when you make a mistake, you'll be able to work around it, figure it out, how to fix it, how to cover it up maybe with some color. It'll take time, but it's, you need to practice. I'm applying the color very lightly, okay? Again, you can always add more color. You can take color away. Take you a while to do that, but it's better if you just do it little by little. Take your time. You gotta do the edges as well. Remember, it's the face have been cut off, so you wanna show a little bit of inflammation or irritation around those parts. Okay, starting to take a little bit of shape now with some of the warmer colors. Okay, cleaning up the airbrush. Again, a little bit of Windex or any glass cleaner. Okay, since we're painting latex, we gotta make sure that the mask stays flexible and all the colors will stay on the mask. So the next step I want to do is I'm going to seal it. I'm going to do a quick seal. What I use for latex mask are two things. I use big gloss, okay, and I also use Liquitex. It's a varnish. High gloss, they have matte or matte. They have a medium gloss, but for this one I'm going to be using this rubber cement sealer called V-Gloss, and it goes straight up on the into the airbrush, just a little bit, and do the job. Okay, clean the airbrush again. When you're using any of those sealers, you gotta make sure that you clean your airbrush properly. Okay. Right now, again, we're just going from color to color, so I'm doing a quick cleaning on it. But if I'm gonna put the airbrush away, I gotta make sure it's nice and clean, because if any of the varnishes, anything the stuff that you use to seal the mask with, or even this thing, the flexible adhesion promoter, it will get stuck in your airbrush and it will clog it. So you don't want to have to open up your airbrush and go through the whole cleaning just because you forgot to do that. Okay. I'm going to make sure this is nice and dry. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it a little bit of small detail here, which is going to be by using your cyan. Okay, this light blue with a little bit of green color. I'm gonna put just a drop into my airbrush. And we're going to add a little bit of veining to the mask, okay? This is something that takes time to do, and every time you do it, you will learn how to do it with practice. You want to go very light with colors first, and like I said, you can always add more to it. This is the good thing about this airbrush. You can go extremely thin with it or much thicker. Again, take your time. We're gonna do a little bit of veining here next to the temple. Very lightly. Same thing with the other side. And there's usually a vein that goes right in the center of the forehead as well. Again, apply the colors very lightly. Okay. we are going to go for purple. I'm diluting the color a little bit, just a little bit, just to make it a little more fluid. I'm sorry. Okay. I want to use this color to go a little bit around the eyes. Again, this is gonna look a little bit bruised. That's what I'm looking for, a bruised color about those parts that have been in shock, like again the cut in the mouth, around the eyes, the edges of the face. Might be a little too diluted, and add a little bit more of color right straight to my airbrush. Mix up the color. It's much better. What I like to do here is I'm just not applying the color, but I'm trying to make a little bit of pattern with it. You can see right here. I'm gonna try to make it a little bit darker, so you are able to see it. But it's a little bit of noodling, if you wanna call it that way. That's what I'm trying to do right under the eye. Again, I'm trying to break up the colors. We wouldn't be doing this and if I was painting somebody who was alive, the mask of someone that was alive, I wouldn't be doing this amount of bruising around. Again, it's for the purpose of this person being dead. They were doing this. From time to time, you might need to clean up the tip of your needle because paint accumulates. Okay. We're gonna do the same right at the edge of the mat as well. The pattern can be a little bit wider here, not so tight. The way how I'm painting, again, I'm using that noodling technique. Nothing is in one specific straight pattern. Always moving the airbrush. Okay, next thing we want to do is we are going to use a color, it's a mix actually of colors to give a little bit of shadow to the eyes, around the back of the eyes, a little bit of on the lips. And the way how I achieve that color is by mixing a little bit of purple, couple drops of purple, blue, in this case it's a dark blue, maybe like 2 or 3 drops of that. I'm gonna use a little bit of sepia, three drops or so. Okay, and can use a little bit of red, just a little bit, like maybe 1 or 2. Let's actually put 1. Okay, yeah, a little bit of water, mix it up. Alcohol, mix it again, and this is the color you're gonna end up with. It is a mix of, I actually might need a little bit more purple, just a couple more drops of purple, mix it. Okay, that's great. So it is a mix of a brownish purple. That is the color that you want to get for the shadowing. Again, it's a mix of the blue, dark blue, purple, a little bit of red, and sepia. You see right here? That's the color that we're going to use for shadowing. Again, we're going to use a little bit under the eyes. Okay, you're gonna use a little bit on the lips. Like I said, this is a person that is already deceased, so that's why I'm using this color. Give a little bit of a dead tone to it. And do it inside the nose strings. Alright. Okay. Next thing. This color that we used before, the burnt umber, that we diluted to do the speckles with the paint over the mask, we're gonna dilute it even more. Okay, I want you to grab some water and dilute the color even more with water and alcohol. Okay, because we're gonna do a quick wash with this color. All right, very, very transparent color. Load it right in the airbrush, and you're gonna airbrush that color from far away because I wanted to spread all over it. What this is gonna do is gonna tone down a little bit of all those colors under one. It also gives that yellowish tone to the skin, like somebody who is deceased. One more thing I want to do is the other color that we already used, this lime green, just the way it is, we're gonna put a little bit over the lips. That's gonna tone down the purplish color that we put before, and it's gonna make it look even more dead. Next color to use, we're gonna go for this Ulcerine Crimson hue. Pretty much it's a dark red. It's almost like blood, but it has more brown in it, so I will say more of a dry blood color. So we're gonna use this red to apply around the mouth, right all over the cuts. Again, apply the color lightly. like I said, you're trying to mimic the bruising, that inflammation around the wounds. So again, take your time. You can always build up the colors. Later on, we're gonna go with a blood color. I want to do some dripping, and that will bring the whole piece together around the mouth. After we do the wiring, I think I'm gonna do metal on those wires or stitches that he has. I think it will look better than just regular stitching. Putting a little bit of red around those inside those cuts. I'm doing very light veining with the same color. You gotta keep cleaning your airbrush with this specific color because it's a little thick and clogs the tip of the nozzle, the needle. See, it's very light. It doesn't have to be perfect veining. It gives that effect that is under the skin if it's not completely perfect. Okay? Do the same thing around the right on the forehead. Can go a little bit heavier here, just a little bit of modeling with some of the red. Here on the nose as well, do a little bit of detailing, just a tiny little bit. You can see it right there. Always try to focus on details. That's what is gonna sell your paint job. We have the airbrush. Okay, the next color to use will be the burnt umber by FW, and I want to start adding some of the decay shades to the mask. To be all over the edge. We're doing the same thing, that noodle pattern that we were doing before. Again, apply it lightly. And you see it right there? It's more like a yellow brown color. Okay. Okay, next color, we're talking about decay. Tim Brown, in his Bloodline set of colors, he has that specific color called decay. So we're going to use a couple drops of that, which is a dark brown color. I'm going to do exactly the same what we did with the yellow. but we're gonna keep it a little bit tighter and closer to the edge. Okay. See? It's okay if you you come out a little bit farther. Again, you don't want it to be uniform. You're trying to make it look as natural as possible. A little bit around the eyes as well. Okay, let's fix the mask a little bit. Sits a little bit better. Okay. All right. Now, next color to use. I want you to water down a little bit of this color. This one is Vile Green by Tim Gore, and it's a little bit of a camel green, So dark green. I want you to water this just a little bit. You can see the color right there. The alcohol, so it dries a little faster. And the type of alcohol I use is 90%. I usually, if I'm able to find anything higher than that, I'll buy it, but the store didn't have it, so I just went with 90%. Okay, so now we're gonna try this green. You see, it's a little bit of forest green, camel green. It's perfect for dead skin. Get it out a little bit. Certain parts on the temple, a little bit right on top. Maybe here under the cheek, or under the chin as well. Maybe started to climb up a little bit in one part of the mouth, right where the cut is. Okay. Okay. Next thing to do, we're gonna start doing a little bit of beauty marks on this. So the first thing that we're gonna use is this color right here. It's an FW red earth. Okay, so it is a mix of red, maybe some brown, yellow. It's like a terracotta color. So we're just gonna use a little bit of that to do a couple marks as the color. Okay. Add the mask, and we'll do something around here. That's it, right there. If at any moment you messed up a little bit of the paint, maybe with a big speckle of paint while you were using those, when we're layering the colors at the beginning, this could be a perfect way to cover it up. Okay, so we did a couple of them. And again, that was with the red earth tone. We're gonna look for our sepia color, which should be right here, which is a very dark brown. Couple drops of that in the airbrush cup. Color is right there, and we're gonna spray that. We're gonna make a little mark right on top of that red. You see it? You can still see the outline of that red tone, so it gives it a little bit, again, more of a natural look to our paint job. I'm not gonna do all of them. I'm just gonna do most of them. Okay, so we got that one, this one, this one, and I'm gonna leave that one as it is, and that one as well. Okay, because not all the molds are the same color. We're gonna grab one more time this shadow color that we made with the mix of the blue, red, the brown. I'm gonna put a little bit in here, and once again I want to go over the edges of the mask. Same noodle pattern as well. You can go a little bit out onto the center of the face as well, and towards the center of the face. A little bit heavier probably on this area, or maybe the blood is started to pool. Right here I want to do another wash with our burnt amber that we made. Make sure it is nice and thin, that way it doesn't interfere much with the colors that we already laid down. Okay. The next thing I would like to do is those stitches. Like I said, I don't want it to be the stitching. I don't want it to be some type of fabric or cord or anything like that. I want it to be metal because I want to give a rusty effect to it. And we're going to be able to achieve that by using some colors that I want to show you. So the first thing we need is to base that with some black. Okay, so grabbing some of the FW black. At this point, I think you should be able to clear up your station. We're not going to be using a lot of these colors. I might keep the red, the shadow color that we got, a little bit of that magenta, I'm sorry, the cyan color, and I can get rid of most of them. Get rid of the blue, get rid of the purple, the white I might keep actually, just to break down a little bit. Get rid of the magenta, get rid of the green, and that's all. Okay, so I'm gonna start painting those black, those stitches black. Again, take your time. You don't want to ruin what you already painted. At this point, if you go a little bit over, that's fine. We want to be able to cover small mistakes like that with paint. Okay, so don't freak out, just keep working on it. Black looks so rough against other colors. That's why I really don't use black that much. But in this case, we need it as a base. If you don't feel too comfortable using the airbrush to do this kind of stuff because you feel like you're gonna mess up, you can use a brush. Like I said, just take your time. Okay, so we are pretty much done with priming that. Okay, so the next thing, we are going to start putting some rust on those stitches. Okay, now for this rust effect, you can use these are small kits. With all the rusting colors. Specifically, I'm talking about this model color. They come in a set, and there are different shades of rust. The ones that I like to use are pretty much this four. Actually, not this one. It's a little reddish. This one. Yep. This four right here, which is called rust, a yellow ochre, the orange rust, and a dark brown for that effect. Okay, so first thing we're gonna use is we're gonna grab a brush. Something thin, something like this, to do the work. And the color to use would be orange. That's gonna be my base color for this effect. Actually, this orange seems a little too light for what we want to achieve. So let me grab one of the cheap paints. Okay, we have this Americana Decor Art, and the color is burnt orange. The paint is thicker, so it should be able to stick to the mask a little bit easier. Of course, if it's not clogged. Just bear with me one moment while I unclog this paint. I haven't used it in a little while. Okay. Alright, it's ready to go now. Okay. So back to it. Grab that orange paint and apply. There you go. Much better. See right there? and you're trying to cover as much as you can. You don't have to go all the way to the edge of the paint of the stitch, because we're gonna cover some of that with blood. We just want to give that illusion that this is real metal that rusted. Okay. If you're just starting to paint, um, don't get discouraged if the paint job doesn't come out the way you want it all the time. Um, you just need to keep practicing. You gotta keep learning. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get better at what you do. Um, as you can probably already notice, I'm not the best um, teaching or the best teacher, but it's something I wanted to do for a little while, um, just to share a little bit of what I've learned through the years. And now the technology is available, and anybody can learn how to do this kind of stuff. Um, I just wanted to share with everybody some of the techniques. You can see the color is going in right on top of what we wanted to paint, and it's not perfect. I'm still leaving a little bit of black, um, again, just to mimic a little bit of the dirt. Um, on the wire that they use. Okay, and one more to go to finish with the orange. Okay. All right. Okay, so you just gotta make sure that that color is nice and dry. That way we can move on to the next one. The next colors are gonna be just a little bit of each one. I just wanna take away a little bit of the uniform color from the orange. So I put all those colors right here on the palette. Okay, you can see them right there on the right side. I'm gonna go with the yellow first and just do a couple of touches here and there with the yellow. Again, I'm just trying to make sure there's not only one color onto that metal wire. So I'm touching the wire just a little bit here and there. It's okay if you touch a little bit of this of the skin. It's just gonna be some of the dripping rust. The next color is gonna be this brownish. Okay, as you can see, I didn't even wash the brush, and again, it's just because I want the colors to mix up a little bit. Okay. Maybe the bottom part is a little bit more rusted than the top part. Okay. A little bit of the dark color, just a little bit here and there as well. See how I'm taking a little bit of the paint away from the wire just by touching it with my finger a little bit. Okay. All right. So now, the next thing to do is we are going to add a little bit of blood to this. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Before the blood, I want to do some rust drips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my airbrush, and I'm going to use that orange color that I was trying to use at the beginning, but it was too thin. Okay, and we're gonna follow the down pattern. You see how I'm doing, some of them I pull the paint, I give the effect that I'm pulling the paint down, and some of them I'm not. And the reason to that is, again, I'm trying to make it look natural. I don't want uniformity. Okay. You can go a little bit heavier on some of them. All right. Okay. I'm gonna do the same with the yellow. Same brand though. Okay. I thought that's the Vallejo paint. This was a set. It's called Rust, and they use it to paint tanks and ships. I think I paid maybe like $25 for it, and I have it for years now. They're very concentrated, so it'll last you a while. With the yellow, I'm trying to go a little bit heavier now. Again, more at the bottom than on top, because the rust, maybe with water, it washed down a little bit. Okay. Now I'm cleaning the airbrush again with a little bit of Windex. I'm gonna use this rust color again. I believe it was this one right here, the one I'm pointing. So again, they're colors that we already used. I'm just trying to give them a little bit of a wash-like effect. A little bit of hard on the pattern. And now the brown. Brown. Okay, so again, that's the color to go with. All right. Clean up the airbrush. Okay, what we're gonna do now is we are gonna add blood to the mask. Just kick the camera. Okay. There you go. I think that's good. Alright. Okay. Let me get the color. A sip of coffee. I used to make my own blood color, but I found this Createx makes this candy color, and it's actually called blood red, and it's excellent. It has a nice shine to it. It's a thick, it has thick consistency. So to do any type of drippings, it looks awesome. I'm gonna get a new brush. Again, something thin. Mix up the red and I'll do some drippings here. You can see how dark that red is, but look. It's an excellent, excellent color, especially do something like this. So we're gonna do some touches with this red. This red is, the more you apply to it, the darker it's gonna get. So just try to follow the wound. Something I can give you a little bit of advice is less is more. You probably heard that before, but it's actually true. You don't want to just put tons of blood in this and ruin all the layers that you already put into the mask. You know, all the time that you put into whatever, almost 2 hours of painting the mask, you don't want it to be wasted by you just putting blood on it. So we just put in a little bit of the blood here. Okay. Alright. Things looking good. Right. So what are we gonna do now is, while this blood is still wet, okay, while this blood is still wet, I'm gonna spray it with a little bit of water. I have this squirt bottle, just plain water, and I'm gonna hold the mask and I'm gonna shoot the water in the downward pattern, okay? Just 2 squirts. Okay. Now it gives more of a natural dripping to the mask. I continue with the other side. Keep the mask holding it straight. That way, if anything is gonna drip, it's just gonna keep going down, and it's not gonna ruin what you are doing. This is the first time I'm doing this, so please bear with me. I'm still trying to get used to using the camera, and especially to talk while I'm doing this stuff. Like I said, I'm not the best at teaching, but I definitely want to share this with you guys. Okay, all the blood in there, and let's squirt it again with water. Downward position. Just a couple of squirts. Okay, maybe shake it a little bit. So, yeah, there you go. So the water goes down. And we just let it dry. Okay, I might speed it up a little bit. Look how I'm still drying the mask with the blow dryer, and I'm pointing down, okay? Because I want the water to go down. I don't want it to go to the sides or anything like that. Okay, we're gonna change this paper towel, make sure that get all the fake blood from the mask. Put another piece of paper towel and the mask right on top. Okay, you can see it right there. I'll try to make some better close-ups at the end. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go back to blood, and we're gonna do a couple details here where around the eyes. Like I said, you don't want to just put blood all over it. I think that little bit of blood, it gives a more dramatic effect than if it was just covered in blood. It gives you that bleh look to it. My plan is to continue to make tutorials of different monsters um, whenever possible. If anybody's interested on me making the tutorials, of course. Um, but I really appreciate all of you that follow me. Um, I've been painting for many years, more than 12 years, and I never thought about posting anything on YouTube until recently that I started using the channel, and a lot of people liked what I was doing. So I really appreciate you guys being here and watching this video. Okay, so you see all the blood that I put around the eyes, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a little bit extra and I'm gonna put it right at that end and on this one, okay? Because I'm gonna spray it with water again. All right, and just to give that dripping effect again to it. Blow dryer. Making sure I capture all the drippings from the overspray. Now, make sure the mask is back in place. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna grab some of that blood color and we're gonna use a little bit of sepia, that dark brown. Just want a darker shade of the red. Some touches here and there, just to show a little bit of a different blood color. For some reason the camera picks up the reds as a little bit of orange. Okay. doing some touches here and there. Okay. Dry up the color a little bit with blow dryer. Maybe we can add a little bit of the blood coming out of the nostril. See, just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna flip this so it doesn't get any paint on the mask. There you go. All right. Next thing, I'm gonna go back to our burnt umber. And we're gonna add a little bit to it. I'm gonna go from the top to the bottom. Again, some of that dripping pattern. That's the color. Heavier than some of the areas, especially right on top. Okay, clean that up. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna seal the mask again. But before I do that, I want to grab my shadow color that I used before. This one. I just want to add a little bit more to the lips. I feel like it needs it a little bit. That color. Okay. Remember, after applying that color, that shadow on the lips, I need to add a little bit, again, a little bit of that lime green to tone it down a little bit. And that's it. I'm gonna dry it again. There's one spot right here that I missed with the blood color. I want to add a little bit more to those cuts on the side of the face right here. Right here as well. Yep. Okay. And now we are gonna seal the mask. We're gonna seal it twice. Again, I'm using the V-Glows to seal the mask. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do is, you can see all the rust on the mask, right? So we are gonna take it up a notch by using this. This is a chrome marker. What it's gonna do is we're gonna do a couple touch-ups on those metal parts, and that's gonna show like if the metal got scraped or scratched, and it's gonna show some of the shiny part of the metal. Okay, so I'm gonna use a little bit here and there, and that should give us that metallic look on it. You see it there? but you just need a tiny little bit on that. So it gives you that effect that it's actual metal under all of that rust. I think we should go a little bit darker on some of the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that sepia color. Which we of course lost. Oh, it's right here. It's hiding from us. Gonna add a little bit of that sepia at the end, right at the edge of the mask. Just to give a little bit more of a nastiness, dirty look to it, to the edges of the skin that, you know, probably have been handled. Heavy there. Just rub it a little bit. The last thing I want to do, I want to add before I seal it one final time, is I want to use a little bit of purple on this. This deep bruise purple should do the job. Put a couple drops of that right into the airbrush. And we're going to add a little bit of bruising here and there. Yep. Okay. Let's seal it now. Again with the big loss. You can always take the mask another level up by adding maybe hair. You can, in a small piece like this, you can probably just punch in some hair. It will give more of a realistic look to it. But this is pretty much it. Let me see if I can, there you go, you can see a little bit better right there, the colors of this skin mask. And it's still very flexible, there is no cracking of the paint. And there is a lot of detail into it. Alright, well, I hope you like the class, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Okay, what I'm doing right now, I was trying to darken a little bit of the colors. I also added more blood around the edge of the mask, darkening a little bit of the reds. And what I'm doing right now is I have this dark red or blood, and I'm doing some splatter patterns with it by just using the brush and pushing the paint right to the edge of the cup, and that gives a really nice effect to the mask. You can go a little bit heavy on it. So again, it's after all this blood. I think that's what this mask needed. Reminds me a little bit of Corey Taylor's Slipknot mask. Okay, so we're just gonna let it dry. Just give me a moment, and I'm gonna lift up the mask a little bit so you can see it a little better. I don't want to lift it up too much because I don't want more dripping happening on the mask. But there. There you can see the blues. And pretty much a really gross mask. Alright, I might be adding a couple more things later on before I put it up for sale, just to make it look a little bit better. But overall, this is the idea that I wanted to give you about how to paint this type of masks. Okay, thank you. Bye.